Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Welcome to Wild Flow. I'm your host, Sydney Rose. Wild Flow is an intuitive practice where we are going to be moving through all parts of our body. So hopefully we don't leave any parts unwiggled for today. Today our theme is free. And I'm going to lead you through an affirmation which comes from the Messages of Life by Mario Duguay. So follow along in your mind or repeat after me out loud. I am free. From now on, I am free of the duality, fear, judgments, and people that may prevent me from moving forward on my path to inner peace. I listen to my heart. The veil of my ego is lifted, and a vision of my new life appears to me. I am focused on my inner growth, and I remain steadfast in the energy of love. So keeping that freedom in mind as we move through our practice today, let's get started. If you're following along with our playlists, today we will be following Wild Flow 11, free. And you can go ahead, get in a comfortable seated position, move the fleshy bits out of the way, roll the shoulders back, the spine, sit up nice and tall. Our chin is slightly tucked. We're nice and hollow through our throat and long through our neck. Our crown of our head is pressed up towards the sky. And when you're ready, you may push play now. Slowly closing down your eyes. Maybe curling your lips into a gentle smile. We're going to start by connecting with our breath. We're going to inhale nice and slowly through the nose, filling the chest, filling the ribs, and filling the belly, expanding it outward nice and soft. And then we're going to exhale from the belly, from the ribs, and from the chest. Keep breathing in this way, 360 degrees around the rib cage, expanding from the top, from the middle, and from the belly, and exhaling from the belly, from the ribs, and from the chest. Keep breathing, filling yourself up, and letting it go. Filling yourself up. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Hold it there. And exhale, exhale, exhale. Hold it there. And we'll inhale, 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 and hold. And exhale, 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 hold. Inhale, 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 exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, 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 and exhale. 3 parts. Let it go. Breathe it out. We're inhaling, creating space, filling ourselves up. And we're exhaling, checking out that space we've created as we let it all go. We inhale, fill up, fill up, fill up. And we exhale, release, release, release. And again, inhale, 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 and exhale. Again, inhale, 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 and exhale, exhale, exhale. And again, we inhale, fill up, and we exhale. Let it go. Sit up nice and tall. Eyes closed, body relaxed, breathing normal. Scan your body, see how you're feeling so far today. or at this point today. We'll blink our eyes open. If you'd like to keep them closed, then by all means go ahead and keep them closed. But otherwise, we're going to start moving our bodies, just little movements, maybe swaying side to side or rocking forward and back. There's no wrong way to wake your body up. I'm taking a yawn about it apparently, so we're moving gentle movements, just with our spine. Maybe moving those side to side or front to back movements into circles. You might have some popping or cracking happening. And then we'll get our arms involved. So reaching side to side, swaying out, reaching as far as you can reach, being nice and graceful. The most graceful you've ever been in your whole life. Not actually. Like I said, no wrong way to move. And maybe even forward and back, bringing the arms together and apart. Keep it going, forward and back, or side to side. Again, we're exploring, so follow me, or explore. Do your own thing. It's great. Move around. I like to put one arm up for circles, because why not? Switching sides, other direction. So if you're moving your own way, remember to do both sides. Maybe even both arms up, big circle here with the chest, and the other way. And then all together we'll inhale, both arms reach up, and we'll exhale, hinging at the hips, chest leads, forward fold, walking the hands forward. We'll shift our chest side to side. And then we'll move those side to side pulses to up, or side to side movements to up and down pulses, pulling chest forward and pushing it back. Shoulder blades come apart when you lift and lower. And then we'll roll up one vertebrae at a time. Right hand comes to the left knee, left hand behind the back, spiraling clockwise here, so to the right. And we'll keep that spiral going as we move ourselves all the way over to the other side as we change direction, so spiraling counterclockwise. And we'll keep that spiral going as we move ourselves back to center. And we'll take our shoulders, shrug them up to the ears, squeeze them to the back, and press them down. So rolling here. Just don't want to kick the dog. So we'll move him. He's a big hairy lump. And roll them forward. Now we're going to take our hands, bent elbows, hands parallel to the floor. We're going to knock up and down with our right hand as we shimmy our left hand side to side. So we're basically waving with our left hand, but palm pointed towards the ground as our left hand knocks towards the floor. We're breathing here, waking up our brain. One's going up and down, one's going side to side. Don't think about it too much. That's usually when it gets hard. And then we'll take our hands wide open and open close to the fingertips. So open, squeeze, open, squeeze, open, squeeze, open, squeeze, open, squeeze, 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 squeeze. And we'll touch one finger at a time to our thumb and change direction. See if we can do it opposite. So pointer finger and pinky going one side and then the other side. And then we're going to hover our arms parallel to the floor again with our elbows bent. This time our left hand knocks. And our right hand moves side to side. Yeah, this one might be a little more tricky for some of you. It is for me, but just give it a go. Do your best, or not even. Do what you can. Knocking with one hand, other hand going side to side. Oh, hilarious. We'll inhale, both arms come up to the sky. Exhale, hands come down to heart center, forward fold. We'll inhale, arms come all the way up and cycle behind our backs, reaching for the ground. We'll step our feet out to the side, wide open, feet on the floor, knees to the ceiling, dropping one knee at a time into center. And then we'll straighten our left leg out long. We'll take our right toes, point them over to the right, rainbow up and over to the left. So open, close here. Get it as high as you can. And go ahead and lower that right foot, flexing the right toes up to the ceiling, making sure your fleshy bits are out of the way, your sit bones are on the ground, pointing through that left toe, 45 degrees out to the side, out to the left side. Lift the left leg over, point it over to the right. Lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift. Place it back down. The left hand, or left, this is my foot. Left leg crosses in front, right foot swings behind. We're in our shin box with our knees both pointing forward. Our left elbow comes to our left knee. Right hand reaches behind the back. We swing the right hand around as we kick the right foot up. We switch to the left and we swing it around, elbow to knee. Swing that left arm around, kick it up. Right leg kicks up, left leg goes down, swinging it back. Keep it going. And back. All the pets are here to play today, apparently. Kick, kick, down, kick, kick, down. One last time. Kick, kick, down. This time we're going to lift up onto our knees. So lifting the hips, pressing them forward. And down. And again, we'll lift and press and down. And one more time, we'll lift and press and gentle circle with the hips here. And then change the direction. You might feel little muscles activating in your hips here. And lower down. We'll kick that right leg, kick the left leg, bring that left leg back. Come up onto our knees again and down. We'll come up and down. When you come up, really press your hips forward and down. We'll lift up again, circle it out here. And then back the other way. And we'll lower down. We'll bring our left leg out in front. Our right leg comes out in front. And we'll swing them both behind us, coming onto our bellies and our forearms. So our forearms are on the ground, toes are pointed behind the back. We're going to lift from the hips, keeping the legs as straight as we can, lifting into the low back and glutes, pulsing legs. Come, see if you can get your knees up off of the mat, squeezing into the backs of the legs here. Keep breathing. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the belly down, elbows come wide, hands come underneath of the shoulders, flipping the toes, big breath, fill yourself up, and exhale fully. Inhale through push-up, exhale downward facing dog. And we'll take our dog for a walk, bending one knee at a time. And then we'll pulse down through the heels here, getting the jiggly bits jiggling, rounding down here, pressing the shoulders into one another as you press your chest back towards your knees. Bounce it out. Keep breathing. And then we'll look up between our hands. Keep that bouncing going as we hop our feet up towards our hands. So step them up right underneath your chest. We'll inhale, hand comes up, hands come up, the shins, chest lifts for flat back. And we'll keep our hands parallel to the floor here, bending our elbows back, and we'll reach our elbows one at a time for our hips. So we're folding forward, our elbows are pulling back to our hips, and then we'll pulse it up. So chest lifts and lowers. Back is still parallel to the floor. Chest is lifting and lowering. And then we'll bring it back to flat, elbows to hips. Side to side. And then hands to knees, pulse up. So pulling the shoulder blades apart, hollowing out through the chest. And then flat back, elbows to knees. And then we'll release our hands down to the ground, nose to knees, forward fold, hands interlace. You can come behind our head here. Deep breathing. And we'll release our hands as we roll up one vertebrae at a time, coming to stand at the top of our mat in our mountain pose or Tadasana. Rolling the shoulders back, palms come forward, elbows are strong at the sides. Planting down through the right heel, right pinky toes, toes fan open, making sure you're pressing down through all four corners of the feet, which are your 2 balls and 2 points on your heel, creating a suction with the sole of your foot and lightly gripping the mat with your toes. So fanning open the left toes, slight bend into the knees, activating up through the shins into that slight bend, squeezing your thighs together as you're actively pulling them apart, tucking your tailbone under, coming up nice and tall. So we're not pro-rating our hips forward, and we're not swaying our butt back. We have our hips tucked under enough to engage our low belly. Our hips are above our ankles. Our shoulders are above our hips. We're nice alignment. Our fingers are wide and active, reaching towards the ground. Our floating ribs like to float out. We want to pull them inward. Staying nice and tall. Chin slightly tucked. Breathing here. We're going to inhale, pull air deep into our ribs, or our chest, our ribs, and our bellies. And then we'll exhale from our belly, from our ribs, from our chest. Start grounding down, tapping through the heels. Actively hitting your heels to the ground, grounding your energy down into the earth or your floor. It's connected. It's all good. Keep breathing. And then we'll plant into that right foot. Lift our left foot gently. Your foot can stay right here for balance or bending our knee all the way up. And we're going to bring our hands to heart center as we do outward circles or backward circles with our knee. Whoops. And then we're going to bring that knee parallel to the floor, little pulses. Your toe can be pointed here or flexed. And we're going to keep that shin or thigh, that's my thigh, parallel to the floor as we cross it over to the right side of the body. Right hand comes to the outside of the left leg. Left arm comes out to the left side. And we'll do little pulses reaching up. So I guess it's big movements here. Quarter pie, reach up and lower down. Just parallel to the floor and then back up and down, up and down. We'll untwist that knee, lower it down, bend down into our chair. Little pulses here. 3, 2, 1. And then we'll straighten up here, bringing our right knee with us, parallel to the side. Open it to the side. Backward circles happening here. And then taking that right thigh back parallel to the floor, crossing it over to the left side, left hand on the outside of the knee, pulling it across, reaching the right hand over, and then raising it up and back, up and down, up and down, up and down. We'll uncross that knee, lower it back down, heels together, toes apart into ballet stance. We'll bend our knees out wide and lift. So bending our knees, keeping your chest as lifted as you can as you bend your knees down. Try to keep your heels on the floor. Only go as far as you can keep your torso up. So as soon as you bend, as soon as you start to go forward, stop. Too far. One last time and back up. We'll take our feet, step them back to normal. We'll take our right foot, step it slightly forward and come up onto our toes. So we're lifting and lowering, kind of getting our knee going here. So lifting and lowering, something's happening. I can feel it. Hopefully you can too. Lifting and lowering through our knee. Keep it going. Keep it going. And then we'll start with that hip. So big outwards circles with trying just the right hip, circling it forward. Keep it going. Nice. 3, 2, 1. And we'll bring it back. Bring our right foot back. Little pulses here into our knees. Hips can go side to side, thinking skiing. It's great. Keep it going. Keep it going. You can get your upper body going as your hips go side to side, crunching in here. And we'll step that left foot forward, up on our heel, get in that knee going. Nice. And then bring that left hip in. Circle it out. Left hip forward. Arms can be hovering, they can be out, they can be up. Depends how you're feeling. They can be on your hips. And then we'll step those feet wide and we'll shimmy our hips side to side, bending into our knees, coming low down into our goddess. Our hands come on our knees as we lift and lower through our heels. Releve onto the toes. Nice. And we'll step it closer and then a little bit closer into our chair. We pulse here. So hands to heart center, knees bending and straightening, giving it going, yeah. Little pulses. And then we'll inhale all the way up, big stretch, reaching to the sky, coming up onto the tippy toes, stretching hands to the toes, way up, fingers to toes, and then we'll exhale, swipe it down to the ground, and we'll inhale, bring it up again, up onto the tippy toes, exhale, fold down. And we'll bring it back to our hips, stepping, lifting and lowering through our hips. So we're bending our knees, squeezing into those obliques as we lift and lower. And we'll step into our chair, lower down, big circles with our hips. And change direction. For any of you who might not be following along with our playlist, we're wiggling our hips today to Under Pressure by Queen. It's really fun. So, and then we're going to scoop our hips down and up this time. So instead of lifting and lowering, we're squeezing or pushing down and out. Dancing it out, get your arms involved. Maybe bring them up as you slow it down. Big up, exhale, fold. We'll inhale, hands come up the shins, chest lifts for flat back. Exhale, fold. Then take your fingertips, sway your upper body side to side as you draw little figure eights, little infinity signs on the ground with your fingertips nice and loose, nice and soft. We're going to plant our hands down, step into our left leg. Our right leg comes back up onto the toes, walking ourselves up for a high lunge. So our knee is for sure behind our leg. Our left hand's on our left hip. We're pulsing down here. So we've got our back leg straight, pulsing into that front knee, lifting and lowering. I'll face this way. The dog's like, no. The right hand reaches for the ground. The left arm's going to come all the way up to the ceiling, pulling them opposite directions. And then pushing down into the deepest expression of your stretch. Right arm comes down, left arm comes up and over, and cycle that left arm back. 3 times, there you go. And then we'll bring it back to center. And we're gonna inhale, open back. Exhale, hands come together, forward, folding forward. Inhale, reach back and open. Exhale, fold, hands come to knee, kick your butt with your left leg, or right leg, sorry. Stepping it in and back. And then knee into chest. 3, 2, 1. Step it back, kick your butt. Heel to glute, or boot, E. And then knee into chest. And then step that right leg back to meet the left. We'll inhale up. Exhale, hinging at the hip, forward fold. We'll inhale, hands come up the shin, chest lifts for flat back. Exhale, fold down. Hands reach for the ground. Right foot stays. Left foot steps back into the lunge. Walking it up, little pulses here. Bending into that right knee. You stay where you are. I'm moving so you can see. If you're wiggle wobbly, widening that stance can help pulsing it out. Left hand stays down. Right arm comes up. Yeah. And then way over, stretch to the right. Backward circles happening with the right arm. Reaching that left hand towards the ground, but keeping your weight even between your feet. And then we'll exhale, both arms forward, chest to knee. Inhale, arms come back, chest opens and lifts to the sky. Exhale, reaching forward. Inhale, open back. Exhale, reaching forward. Inhale, reaching back. Exhale, reaching forward. Inhale, coming back to neutral, hands onto knees, down into that lunge. Get ready, little pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna kick our heel into our butt. Ready, go, bring it in. 2, 3, 4. Knee to chest. 1, 2, 3, 4. Heel to hip. 1, 2, 3, 4. Knee to chest. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lower your left leg down to meet your right. You're amazing. Arms come up with a big breath. We exhale, hinging at the hips, chest leads, forward fold, reaching for the ground. We inhale, hands come up the shins, chest lifts for flat back. And we exhale and we fold down. This time we're going to step our right leg back, turn into our right side, long side of our mat. Toes are forward, heels are back, body is folded in half here. We're going to bring our hands to our hips, lift our chest halfway, arms come out parallel to the floor, big breath. As you exhale, left arm comes down, right arm goes all the way up, big twist here. And then we'll inhale, bring the left arm back, parallel to the floor. Exhale, right arm comes down, left arm reaches up to the ceiling. And then we'll inhale, both come back. And we'll reach those arms forward and back, like we're polishing the floor, keeping our arms parallel here. Our back is nice and flat. So from the side, we're nice and flat, reaching forward, reaching back. And then we're going to reach our hands back, lifting through the hips here, keeping the legs straight, lifting and lowering. And step it in to center. We'll plant into our left foot, bring our right knee into our chest, interlace our fingers, pull it here. Nice. And we're going to take that right leg, cross it over the left knee to knee, bending into that left knee, wrapping that right leg, sitting up nice and tall, arms come out wide. And we'll bring that right arm underneath of the left as we wrap our arms up, palms together, gazing past your hands, coming into our eagle. We'll sit down nice and low. Bring our elbows to our knees. We'll exhale fully. We'll inhale, elbows lift up high as they can. Oops, you're going to use your foot as a kickstand here. Exhale, elbows to knees. We'll inhale, open. And exhale, close. We'll inhale, open. Exhale, close. Staying closed, we'll unwrap our arms. Hands come one on top of another behind our back here. And we'll uncross that right leg, pull it into our chest. Keep our chest lifted. Stretch it back behind our body, coming into a no-winged airplane. And we'll draw some big circles with our ankle here. So toes are drawing circles, moving out through the ankle. And we'll change direction, go back the other way. Keep breathing. And we'll release our hands and reach them for the ground, coming into standing split, little pulses at the top here, lifting and lowering through the right leg. And then we'll take our right leg, cross it over behind us to the left, rolling up one shoulder at a time, coming to our curtsy lunge. Our arms come overhead, and we exhale, pull our arms down into strongman or strong woman arms. Reach them up. As we do so, we're going to bend into both knees. So coming all the way down, lifting up, reach through the fingertips, and then exhale, pull those fists down, engage the biceps, reach up, and pull down. Bending both knees, and down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, pull down, hands come to the hips, stepping the right foot out long to the right side. Hands come to the shoulders, right elbow and right knee bend into center and open, and then left and open. Keep it going. Bending down and lifting up. 3, 2, 1. Stepping up nice and tall, we'll inhale, arms come up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. We'll inhale, hands come up the shins, chest lift for flat back. And we'll exhale, fold down. Thumbs come interlace in opposite elbows. Draw a figure eight with those elbows. Side to side. Breathe it out. And we'll bring our hands to our hips and lift our chest parallel to the floor, bending into one knee at a time. Deep bend, straightening whatever knee you're not bending. Getting a nice IT band stretch happening. Keep breathing. And then bending into both knees, we'll sit down into our chair, hands scoop underneath of the butt, chest lifts, arms come all the way up, and exhale, sitting down, little pulses. And then we'll inhale, straighten our legs, reaching for the sky. Exhale, hands come down the sides to the hips. Big breath lifts you up. And as we exhale, we'll hinge at the hips, coming parallel to the floor, stepping into the right foot this time. Left knee curls up into the chest, crosses over the right, wraps around, or use it as a kickstand on the ground. Sitting down nice and deep, our chest lifts, our arms come out. Big breath, little pulses here, squeezing the shoulder blades together, pulsing the chest forward. And then our left hand comes underneath of our right, crossing, wrapping our arms, palms together, elbows are lifted, chin is tucked slightly, neck is long, gazing on either side of the hands. We'll inhale, elbows come away from the knees, lifting up. Exhale, rounding the spine, elbows to the knees. Inhale, lift, and exhale, down. Inhale, lift, and exhale, down. Inhale, lift and open. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, down. This time staying here, unwrapping the arms, hands stacked one on top of another in the low back. We'll take our left knee, uncross it, reach it back behind us, step it back over to the right for our curtsy lunge. Roll back one shoulder blade at a time. Our arms are reaching up overhead. Arms are reaching up overhead. And we're exhaling, bending both knees, biceps come, elbows down, nice and strong. So big lift and down, lift. Strong arms pull you down, lift up, pull down, lift up, and pull down, lift up, and pull down. We'll lift up, one more time, we'll pull down, and then we'll lift back up, hands come to the hips, chest folds forward, left foot raises up off of the ground, coming into your airplane. No winged airplane, so hands can stack on the low back again. And then we'll exhale, fold down, hands come to the floor, forward fold, little pulses, left leg up to the sky. Keep breathing. Little pulses, little pulses. And then left foot comes to meet the right foot, Toes together, heels apart, very exaggerated. So the knees are folded in towards one another. Forward fold here. And then we'll inhale, come up, half lift. Hands are going to come above the knees onto the thighs. Heels and toes both come together, so feet are glued together. We're going to move our ankles in a circle, or our knees in a circle above our ankles, stretching out our ankles. If your ankles are rubbing together, just widen your feet a little bit. We're stretching them out here. And then we'll change direction. So big circles here. We're moving circles around our ankles. Feels great. And then we'll exhale, reach down for the ground, stepping up to the top of our mat, stepping our knees down underneath of our body, coming into all fours in a tabletop position. We'll inhale, fill ourselves up. And then as we exhale, tuck the tailbone, pull the belly up to the spine, pull the shoulders apart, chin into chest, arching the spine for angry cat. Exhale fully. We'll inhale, lift the tailbone, lower the belly, squeeze the shoulder blades together, grip the ground with your fingertips, pull the chest through, look up for cow. And then exhale, round the spine. Inhale, lower the belly, lift the gaze. And exhale, round the spine. We're going to take our toes, tuck them under, sit back onto our heels, reach back, fan out those pinky toes. We're coming into our soul stretch. I guess I'll go this way. So we're sitting back onto our heels. Our feet are being stretched. There's thousands of nerve endings in the bottom of our feet, and it's a proprioceptively rich environment, which means it takes on a lot of sensory information. So by stretching our feet, we're constricting the blood flow so that when we bring it back, it's newly oxygenated, newly regenerated, dead cells are being carried away. And it's just a really good way to ground your energy and connect and feel and be present by having your feet be flexible. So sitting here, sitting on them, it doesn't feel great. I understand. We're all in this together and we're breathing. We can distract ourselves by interlacing our fingers and rolling out our wrists with nice circles. So clasping our hands, making some circles with our wrists. And then we'll open our elbows up, placing the backs of our hands underneath of our chins. We'll inhale, look down, elbows come up. And then we'll exhale with a HA breath, a ha breath, as we bring our elbows back together and look up. Inhaling through the nose. Elbows come up and exhale. Elbows come together, looking up. Inhale, elbows come apart. And exhale. Inhale, open. And again. And we'll release our hands back to our thighs. Chin slightly tucked. We'll reach our hands down for the ground, nice and slowly untucking our toes, giving our toes a wiggle. Sitting back onto the tops of our feet, hands planted beside our knees, back is rounded, we're pulsing our knees up towards our chest, stretching our feet in the opposite direction. And then we're going to come forward again onto all fours, taking our left knee, stretching it and crossing it over to the right side of our body. We're sitting down here. So our left, this is my leg, and it is my left one, and it's turned inward. We're going to externally rotate the right hip, pointing our knee and that's not my nose, it's my toes, up towards the sky. Oh man. We're going to inhale, reach both arms way up into the air. We'll twist over to the right, and we'll exhale, hinging at the hips, reaching for our nose towards our toes, reaching for our feet. As soon as you feel the stretch in the side of your body, just grabbing onto what you can reach here, and we're going to pull our chest forward and then lift it up. Little pulses here. Our chest is lifted. We're pulsing. If pulsing is not happening, don't sweat it. Just stretching here. And breathing nose to knee, big breaths. Fill yourself up. And exhale, fold. And exhale, fold a little bit deeper. Keep breathing. And then gently, we're going to walk our hands closer to our body. Bring our back or our upper body to a place of being about 45 degrees to the ground. Hands come on either side of the foot. This is going to work, I think. We're going to take a big breath, and as we exhale, we're going to lift our foot up. So lifting, even if it only comes one little inch up off the ground, that's great. Lifting and lowering. If it doesn't come any, then grab your hand and lift it. You're allowed to help yourself. So we're engaging through our quads, our upper thigh here, and our low belly, which is pulling our leg up. And then we're going to lean over to the left side. That right knee is going to bend our heel back towards our hips, sitting up nice and tall here. Both arms come up. And then we'll exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold over the left ankle, reaching for the ground, coming all the way down towards your forehead here. You can stack your hands as you need. Otherwise, breathing deep, big inhales, and equally big exhales. Nice and slowly, we'll release our hands, walk them back, nice and close to our body. Leaning into that left arm on our left side of the body, we'll kick our right foot out in front, kick our left, lay our right down, bring our left leg out 45 degrees. Also, to our body, you might want to turn longwise on our mat in case you weren't there. Bringing our right foot into our left inner thigh. We'll inhale, both arms come all the way up. Exhale, twist towards the left, so you're splitting yourself in half with your left leg. So sending your belly button over your thigh as much as it'll go, and we'll exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold until you feel that stretch, and then let your arms reach down. Thinking nose to knees, nose to toes if you can get there. That high five's for you. If your nose gets to your knee, high five for you. If you're here, high five for you too. If you're sitting up like this, you also get a high five. Either way, we're stretching to our fullest extent of our own body. So finding that fullest version and then backing up half an inch, because we don't always have to give it 110%. It's okay. So we're breathing here. And then we'll unround the spine by squeezing the shoulder blades together and lifting the chest back to tiny little pulses. So no matter where you are, chest is lifted and your tiny pulses towards your thigh. So belly towards your thigh, no matter what range you're at, lifting the chest, tiny pulses. And then we'll lift our chest up so our body's about 45 degrees. Again, if you're up, that's fine. Reach your hands down, point those toes. We'll take a big breath, and as we exhale, lifting that leg up so slightly. It doesn't take much to feel it. You can use this other knee as leverage. However your body wants to move you, that's how your body's going to move today, and you need to honor it. Just making sure your back is staying nice and tall, squeezing those shoulder blades together. And sometimes you're itchy, and you gotta scratch it. And that's also fine. Yogi, everybody. Yes, hi, buddy. Lifting and lowering. And then we'll lift that left leg up, bend our knees, send our foot back towards our left hip. Sitting up nice and tall, breathing here. And then we'll exhale, hinge at the hips, chest leads, forward fold, hands stack one on top of another. Let your forehead rest, let your body breathe. If you want to go deeper, just flatten your hands. And then nice and slowly we'll roll ourselves back up. Reaching our right hand probably back to the back of our mat. Stepping that left leg out long, stepping that right leg out long, stacking our legs one on top of another. We're going to lower down onto our forearm, fingers pointed away from your body. If this is too much for your left hip, just bend, or right hip, just bend into that right knee. Otherwise, staying here. We're going to reach our left hand up and overhead, big stretch. And then as we exhale, we'll reach our hand for our foot. Inhale, reach. Exhale, foot to hand. Inhale, reach. Exhale, foot to hand. Check and make sure your elbows underneath your shoulder. Inhale, reach. Exhale, touch. Inhale, reach. Exhale, touch. You can do it. You're amazing. And touch. And one more time. Big reach. Big touch. And we'll straighten up. Our left hand comes in front of our body. Our right arm reaches out behind our body. We lower down onto our belly. Left hand is still under the shoulder. We're going to roll onto that right shoulder. Right cheek comes to rest on the mat. Left leg comes behind. Left arm comes behind. Big breaths here. And then we'll release that left hand back to the ground in front of our body. Left knee rolls back onto the mat. Right hand comes underneath the shoulders. We'll press our pubic bone into the mat and inhale, straighten through our arms, coming to an up dog or an extended cobra. If this is too much for your low back, keep your elbows bent. Don't come up so high. Don't worry about it. And then we'll exhale, lower down, flip our toes through plank to downward facing dog. And staying where you are, you're totally fine. We're going to be laying down onto our left side. I'm going to turn around so that I can face you. But we're going to lower our left hip to the ground, coming onto that left forearm with our fingers pointed away from the body. Right hand reaching up ahead, above our head, away from our foot. Again, if this is hurting your left hip, just bend your left knee. No big deal. Inhale, reaching, extending foot far away from the hand. And we'll exhale, lift the hand and foot up to meet at the top somewhere. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lift. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lift. Two more times. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lift. One last time. We'll inhale, reach. Make this one the biggest and slowest one you've done ever in your whole entire life. And lower it back down. The right hand comes in front of the body, onto the belly and onto the right forearm. The left hand comes behind the back, perpendicular to the body. We lay our left cheek on the mat. Right hand comes underneath right shoulder, bending into the right knee, rolling onto that left shoulder. Right hand comes behind the back. Big breaths here. And then nice and slowly uncrossing the right arm, placing it back on the ground, rolling onto the belly, left hand slides under the elbow. We'll flip the toes. We'll inhale, lift up through plank. Exhale, bending into the knees, coming into puppy pose. So it's like down dog, but the knees are deeply, deeply bent. And we'll jump our feet through our hands and land so softly on our butt. And maybe it also just looks like you walking forward and sitting out nice and long. Toes are reaching to the front of the mat now. We're getting ready to settle in, slowing down for our Shavasana. We're in for a bit of a long one today. It's about 10 minutes. I know it seems like a lot of work to lay there and do nothing, but I encourage you to give it a go. Try to stay the whole time. This is the most important thing you've done all day. Breathe. So we'll inhale, both arms come all the way up to the sky. We'll exhale, hinge at the hips and fold. Hands come to the toes. And then we'll inhale, arms come all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, hands down into heart center. We'll inhale, lift through the chest. Exhale, engaging into the core. We lower our body like it's on a hinge at our hips. Nice and slowly down, pointing our toes as we need. Coming to rest on our back, back of the head to the mat. Pulling both feet up nice and close to the body, reaching for our heels, big breath. And exhale, press those hips up nice and high, walking the hands back to grab the heels, pressing the hips high, maybe even coming to rest on your hands or a, block. Here can be really nice too. If you can't quite reach, that's okay. Hands can just stay. Our hips are up high, high, high. And then we're going to bring them down about halfway to the ground in nice circles here. So circling out through the hips. We love hip circles in wild flow. Makes us feel like crazy wild animal children, and it's great. We're adults or children. It doesn't matter. We're just having fun and change direction, cycling it out. And then we'll lower one vertebrae at a time. Bringing both knees into the armpits, one knee in each armpit. Heels come up to meet the sky. Our hands come underneath of the backs of our legs, and we pull our legs, little pulses here. So pulling our legs nice and close to our body. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll glue our feet together, straighten our legs, hands come hold the ground, lowering 1 inch at a time. Nice and slow. Our legs lower all the way to the ground. We'll pull our right knee along the mat up towards our arm. Right hand on the inside of the right knee. Pull it open. Nice hip opener here. And we'll straighten that right leg back. Do the same with the left. Pull it up side. We're like a frog on its back with this pose. And then bringing the right leg up, we'll do both feet. So feet can come together or keep them wide. Using the hands on the inside of the knees. Letting them fall away from center, falling away from one another. And then we'll release our hands from our thighs. Palms come together, reaching for the sky. Knees come together. Straighten your legs out nice and long. And then let your arms slowly float down to the mat. Taking up space. Coming to rest for your final resting Shavasana. So breathing in through your nose, we'll slowly begin to relax through our body. So filling up into your chest, into your ribs, and into your belly, and exhaling from your belly, from your ribs, and from your chest. We're going to do a body activation. So as we inhale, we'll flex our toes up towards our shins, holding our feet nice and flexed, holding our breath, and then exhale, relaxing our feet back down. On our next inhale, we're going to start again with our feet, this time coming up a little further, toes towards the shins, squeezing the calves, pressing them into the ground, locking the knees, holding here, and then we'll exhale, soften from the knees down to the feet. On the next inhale, we're going to go up, starting with the feet again, but coming up a little further. So flexing the feet, the calves, the knees, squeezing the thighs, squeezing the butt cheeks, lifting your hips up off of the ground. Big breath, hold, and then exhale, relax the butt, the legs, the knees, the shins and calves, and the feet. And again, inhaling, starting with the feet, engaging up the legs, straightening through the knees, squeezing the butt. We're going to squeeze our fists and press our arms into the ground. Big breaths here. Big breath. Hold at the top. And then exhale, soften from the top down to the bottom. And again, we'll inhale, start with the feet, engage all the way up, squeezing the arms, squeezing the fists, pressing them in, squeezing the belly, pressing the shoulders in, pulling in the chest nice and tight. Hold here and exhale. Relax. Inhale, flexing into the feet, squeezing the fist, straightening the legs, squeezing the bum, pressing the head, pressing all the way up to the shoulders, pressing your head into the mat, squeezing your face into a sour lemon, angry Resting face, squeezing everything up towards center, clenching your jaw, hold, 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 and then exhale, relax, soften, let your body rest, let your body breathe. Maybe even curl your lips into a gentle smile. Allow yourself to be free, to be here, now. slowly begin to bring your consciousness back, taking out this moment in your stillness to sense the ground underneath your body. And just be held. And then tapping into your inner soul's freedom. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes and reawaken your body in your own way. Nice and slow, with no sense of urgency. And when you're ready, rolling onto your right or your left side, pausing here with your hand on your heart, feeling your heartbeat, your own unique rhythm. Allow your heart to set the pace for your day, your afternoon, or your evening, or perhaps even your nightly rest. And gently and assuredly, that's a word, press yourself back up, finding a comfortable seated position, moving your fleshy bits out of the way, sitting up nice and tall, taking a moment just to scan yourself from your head to your feet. Notice how you're feeling now. Greeting yourself with wholehearted acceptance that now it's like this. You're doing it right, and you've got this. All together, we'll raise our arms wide to the side, reaching up to the sky, opening our eyes, looking up, pausing in exaltation for our life, for our planet, for everything that exists. And then we'll exhale, pull our hands down to our forehead at the center of our third eye, where we pause here for a full breath, where we always remember to think freeing thoughts. We'll fill ourselves with breath again, and we'll exhale, bringing our hands down to our voice center at our throat and our lips, where we always remember to speak freeing words. And one last time in our practice today together, we'll fill ourselves with breath and exhale, bring our hands down to our heart center, where we always act in a way that follows our bliss and honors our freedom. Thank you so much for rolling out your mat today and playing Wild Flow with me. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. I see you. Namaste.